Hello, welcome back for another installment of this series, One Verse a Week. This week we're doing Parshat Mishpatim. That corresponds in your Bibles to Exodus chapter 21, verse 1 through 24, verse 18. This is for the reading cycle corresponding to the Jewish year 5779. If you have found this series or any of my other projects to be useful to you in your studies, to be helpful, I wish you would consider subscribing to this channel and clicking the bell icon so that you receive updates when I upload new material. Also, if this has been useful, if you support what I'm doing here, I wish you would consider becoming a patron over on Patreon or making a small donation via PayPal. You can find that information in the details below. Okay, without further ado, let us begin. Parshat Mishpatim. Okay, this week's Parsha, as I've mentioned before, I've been asked to sort of detail how and why the Parshiot have the names they have. And really, it is not anything particularly creative on the part of the rabbis. They just simply looked at each content unit, each unit as they chopped it up to be distributed over all the weeks of the year. And they looked at the first distinctive term in the first verse, sometimes the second verse of that parsha. The first novel term typically becomes the name of the parsha. So here, verse 1 from Exodus 21:1, it says, "Ve'ela mishpatim." These are the laws. Mishpatim. Asher tasim lifnehem, that he placed before them. These are the laws that were placed before them. Mishpatim means laws, and not surprisingly, this is pretty much all that is contained in this parsha is laws. The majority of these laws are going to take up laws of jurisprudence, things involving the courts, as well as property and tort laws. The property and tort laws, a major portion of them, these scriptural verses here, make up the backbone for the three tractates of Talmud, the three Bavas, Bava Kama, Bava Metzia, and Bava Batra. Those are the three sections in the Talmud that deal primarily with property and tort law. Sanhedrin deals with, not surprisingly, with the laws of jurisprudence, how courts should conduct themselves. So you find between those four tractates are going to cover most of the individual laws detailed in this parsha. Okay, let us begin. So the verse I picked for this week was Exodus 23:7. And it says, Midvar sheker tirchach v'naki v'tzadik al taharog ki lo atzdik rasha. One more time. Midvar sheker tirchach v'naki v'tzadik al taharog ki lo atzdik rasha. Okay, so let's start with the verbs. Tirchach, comes from the shorish reish chav kuf, reish chet kuf. That means to remove or distance yourself. Remove or distance. It's in the form tirchach, you shall distance, or you shall remove. Okay. Taharog, also in the you shall form. Taharog. And it comes from the shorish hey, reish, gimel. Hey, reish, gimel. Kill or murder. Kill or murder. And finally, atzdik comes from the shorish tzadi dalet kuf, to justify or exonerate. And of course, a tzaddik is somebody who is justified, somebody who's righteous. Okay, so here we have a noun and verb that can be used the same way. And of course, tzedek, the term tzedek is also, it means justice. Tzedek. Famous verse, tzedek, tzedek, tirdof. Justice, justice you shall pursue. Okay, so one more time reading it. Midvar sheker terchach, v'naki v'tzadik al taharog, ki lo atzdik rasha. Okay, let us look at now at some of the non-verb terms. Midvar sheker. Okay, a davar is a word, a matter, or a report in some instances. Comes from the same shorish as the verb for speak, davar. So davar, word, matter, speak. Sheker means false or dishonest. So davar sheker is a dishonest report, a dishonest word. So midvar sheker tirchach, from a dishonest report or a dishonest matter, tirchach, you shall distance yourself. You shall distance yourself. Okay? Okay. V'naki, a naki here means clean or innocent. It can be used as an adjective, but here it's used as a noun. It's a clean, this is an innocent person. V'naki, and an innocent person. And naki, an innocent person. V'tzadik, and or tzadik, a righteous or just person. Al, do not, thou shalt not, do not. Al taharog, you shall not kill, murder. You shall not murder. Ki, because, we've had ki before. Lo, atzdik, I will not justify, or I will not exonerate. Rasha. Rasha is an evil person, a wicked person, a wicked one, as I say. Okay, so let's put it all together here. Midvar sheker, from an evil report, an evil matter, an evil thing. Tirchach, you shall distance yourself. V'naki, and an innocent one, or innocent person. V'tzadik, and a righteous or a righteous one. Al taharog, you shall not murder. This hey reish gimel, this shorish, has an implication of killing unjustly. Unjustly. So when you see the shorish, usually with some inference that there's some sort of unjust killing for some unjust reason. So innocent people and righteous people you shall not kill. Ki, because, or for, lo atzdik rasha, I shall not exonerate a rasha. Aleph, ani, is a prefix. It's in the future. Atzdik, I shall not. Lo atzdik, I shall not exonerate rasha, a wicked one. Right. So I think the wicked one here is the one who would put to death somebody who was innocent. That's called wicked. So he's saying, God is saying that you have to be sure that in your judgment that you are doing the right thing, because if you're not doing the right thing, you will not be held blameless. No such thing as washing your hands here. If you give the wrong judgment, then you will not be held blameless. which of course is why in rabbinic law it is actually very hard to, based on Torah law, it's very hard to kill, put somebody to death. It's stated in the Talmud that a Sanhedrin that put somebody to death, one person in 70 years, was considered a bloody Sanhedrin. So, despite what people may think concerning how the Jewish, Israelite court system worked, it was not as bloody affair as it might seem. Okay, let us go further. My translation. From a false matter you shall distance yourself, and an innocent person or a righteous person you shall not murder. That means kill them unjustly, meaning through the court system you shall not execute somebody who didn't do it. For I shall not exonerate a wicked person. Because Hashem will not exonerate somebody, a court system or witnesses or anybody involved in doing this act of executing an innocent person. Okay, notice I translate here, or a righteous person. Let's go look at the Hebrew real quick. Anytime we say vav and vav in a series, sometimes it means and, but for stylistic reasons we can also say or. And sometimes it really does mean or. So I just made a little choice there, and I said or just to beat out the redundancy, and that is a perfectly fine translation. Doesn't really change the meaning whatsoever. Okay. From a false matter you shall distance yourself, and an innocent person or a righteous person you shall not murder, for I shall not exonerate a wicked person. Okay, let's see how I stack up. KJV. Keep thee far from a false matter. Okay, good. And the innocent and righteous slay thou not. Okay, pretty good. For I will not justify the wicked. Okay, pretty good. I like it. It's archaic, but that has a certain charm. NIV. Have nothing to do with a false charge. Okay, I think this is overly colloquial. It says have nothing to do with is not an exact translation. It says the exact translation is distance yourself from or keep yourself far from. Have nothing to do with. Doesn't really go with the Hebrew. Okay, overall it doesn't really change the meaning, but it's not an exact translation. And do not put an innocent or honest person to death. Okay, honest doesn't say honest. It says tzaddik, meaning a righteous person. Don't put a righteous person to death. So honest is a little, that doesn't really work. For I will not acquit the guilty. For I will not acquit, I will not let off the guilty. It doesn't say guilty, it says Russia. It says Russia, which usually connotates somebody who's wicked. I think this translation is a little muddled. We're not really sure who God will not acquit. The whole thing is a little muddled. It's a little hard to understand exactly what is being said here. Okay, in RSV, keep far from a false charge. Okay, and I guess that would be like a report. And do not kill the innocent and those in the right. Okay, I guess the tzaddik would be those in the right. For I will not acquit the guilty. Again, the Russia doesn't mean guilty here. It means truly a wicked person. So this who is guilty? Who's not being acquitted? That is also a little muddy here. Exactly what's going on. Okay, JPS. Keep far from a false charge. Do not bring death on those who are innocent and in the right. Okay. For I will not acquit the wrongdoer. This is a theme. He just keeps doing NIV, NRSV, JPS. They seem to be following each other here. Okay, my same quibbles stand with the JPS. Stone, distance yourself from a false word. Do not execute the innocent or the righteous, for I shall not exonerate the wicked. Okay, so that is pretty good translation, pretty literal, much like the KJV. So, as usual, Stone and KJV are the most literal. There's some interpretive action going on in the NIV, NRSV, and JPS. I think it's already the verse is already not super clear as to who the wicked person is, but I think this further there are choices here: the guilty, the wrongdoer. I think this further muddies it and makes it not understanding what's going on here. This is the wicked is basically the judges and the witnesses who would put somebody to death, an innocent person to death. So that doesn't come out so clearly in these translations, or maybe it does. Maybe your mileage varies. All in all, though, I still think the Stone and the KJV are the most literal. Mine, I had to add righteous person, innocent person, wicked person. I added those words because, of course, the innocent is the nucky. I added person to whatever. Since these are adjectives, I chose to add person to it just to make it a little bit more clear. I guess I should have put those in parentheses as well. Okay, there you go. Let's look at the Hebrew one last time. Midvar sheker tirchach, v'naki v'tzadik al taharog, ki lo atzdik rasha. Okay, I hope that was beneficial. We'll see you next week. Kol tuv, hatzlacha raba. Keep learning.